Standard 11 Appendix Problem 2.4. Draw the resultant direction of two unit vectors I vector and j vector. Use a two-dimensional Cartesian coordinate system. Is I vector plus j vector is a unit vector. Okay. Now I am going to take a coordinate system, two coordinate systems. So x and y. Now the unit vector along x direction is I vector. The unit vector along the y direction is j vector. Okay. So what is the resultant vector? So the resultant vector is I vector plus j vector. I vector plus what? J vector. How to draw the resultant vector? The resultant vector we can use it by means of what? Triangle law of addition. So to the first vector, so this is your I vector. To the head of the first vector, I am drawing the tail of the second vector. So this is your j vector. Okay. Now the resultant will be in the line joining the two vectors. Okay, so that is we are getting it as what? I vector plus j vector. Okay. Now, by definition of unit vector, a vector dot a vector is equal to what? 1. Okay. So here the unit vector is I vector plus j vector. So I can write I vector plus j vector into I vector plus j vector. So I am going for multiplication. I dot I vector plus I dot j vector plus j dot I vector plus j dot j vector. What is I dot I vector? 1 plus here it is I dot j is 0. Here it is j dot I is also what? 0. Here it is 1. So you are getting the answer as what? 2. But you should get it as what? 1. Okay. So we can write I vector plus j vector is not a unit vector. Okay. So to find a unit vector, okay, we have to use the formula. A vector is equal to, that is a unit vector is equal to, you have to write it as a cap. A cap is equal to a vector by modulus of a vector. Okay. So what is the modulus of a vector here? That is modulus of I vector plus j vector. That is root of 1 square plus 1 square, which is equal to what? Root 2. So here I can write the unit vector. So the unit vector is a vector is what? I vector and j vector. So it is I vector plus j vector by modulus of a vector is root 2. So we are getting the answer as what? I vector plus j vector divided by root 2.